Today, I'm after some of the most prehistoric types of fish that you can find anywhere in the world. These fish are known for their scaly armor and their huge teeth, but today we're going to challenge their spot in the food chain and see if we can come out as the true apex predators. And make sure you stick around to the very end because I'm going to be giving you guys a sneak peek into next week's pool pond video, and you're not going to miss the crazy update I have for you guys. Today we're heading out to catch my favorite fish of all time, and you guys are not going to believe what it is. The fish that we're after actually has a jaw that looks just like this. I'm just kidding, that's a coyote jaw. The fish that we're after has a jaw that looks like this. That's right, the fish that we're after has a jaw that is even bigger than a coyote's. And inside their jaw is some of the gnarliest teeth you will ever see in any kind of fish. But you guys didn't come here to see the skeleton of a fish, you came here to see the full thing, so let's go out and catch one. Now, when you're on the hunt for a dinosaur, you got to go to a place named after dinosaurs. So I'm at a spot called Alligator Park in Starks, Louisiana, and this is Alligator Lake. For the monsters that I'm after, a little shiner's not going to do, so I have to catch a few sunfish to use as bait. Now that we've got our bait secured, it's time for us to set up a rig to try and catch a prehistoric monster. All right, we got a piece of that long ear sunfish that we just caught. We got a float and a steel leader. That'll help with all them nasty teeth. I'm going to go ahead and cast this sucker out. Probably about there. The water seems fairly still, so I'm hoping there's not too much current. We're just gonna set this down and wait for a bite. Lots of splashing around, lots of gar rolling, lots of mullet jumping, all kinds of stuff. So we should have a pretty good fishing day. I wasn't sure how good the fishing was gonna be, but then I got my first sign of prehistoric life. If you look right down there, there's an itty bitty gar just kind of hanging out right here. Definitely not the size we're going after though. That little tiny gar is super pretty. Thought about trying to catch him for the pool pond, but I don't have a hook that's even close to small enough for that guy. You guys might have thought it looks a little bit bigger with me zoomed in on him, but that guy can't be longer than 4 or 5 inches. Just for reference, that piece of pine straw is just about as long as he is. I also set up a bottom rig for a different species of fish that I'm after, but now we have to sit and wait for something to come and bite our lines. Oh, we got a fish, we got a fish. I just heard it screaming. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think he got me hung up. Oh, came off. Dadgummit. He got me hung up. Dang. Now, the fish that we're after are notoriously hard to keep hooked, and that's going to be a theme you're going to see quite a bit in this video. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, the swell is right there. My bait is right here. That was huge. Luckily, it wasn't all misses, and I was about to double up on some crazy fish. I'll pick this up to go recast it. Something's on. Oh, it's good. It's good. Whatever it is, it's good, and we got it. I was about to recast this thing because it wasn't moving. Oh, no. I think he got me wrapped up. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, great. My other line's hit too. My other line's hit. Oh, gosh. This one I think is stuck. Get this other one. Ooh, it's a griddle. The first prehistoric fish we caught is called a bowfin, also known as a grinnell, shoepeak, or a million other names, but I don't have time to go through all of that. I still got a fish on my other line that I need to get in. Come on. Come on. Ooh, we got it. We got it loose. We got it loose. We got it loose. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, what are you? Something big. Something big. I don't know what that is yet, but it's big. Oh my gosh. Dude, giant catfish. Giant catfish. Oh gosh. Good sized catfish. That's dinner right there. Oh my gosh. Oh, good size sucker. Oh, no. Okay, I'm gonna have to get down there. This is very slick down here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh. good sized catfish. Ooh, we about to weigh him in a second. We also need to unhook that grinnell. Oh my gosh. Not the giant alligator gar we're after, but that sucker smoked it. Oh boy. All right, not my biggest grinnell, obviously. Looks like a little over 4 pounds. Not a giant by any means. We're gonna throw this one back. These fish can get huge and they're super fun to catch, especially on micro tackle, which I have a video on if you want to check that out after this video. But let's release this guy and get back to our other fish. Oh, there he goes. Now for the catfish. 9.5 pounds. Ooh, perfect eating size right there. Oh man. I threw my lines back out with some fresh bait, and now it's time to wait a little longer. Hopefully we don't double up again, although that is really awesome. It took a lot out of me. But a 9-pound catfish, that ain't bad. That's dinner for a few nights, so I'm definitely happy with that. Oh, there's a turtle under there. Hopefully he doesn't grab my bait. That would be very unfortunate. I might have to just reel that thing in and cast it back out because I do not want turtles on my line. Oh my gosh, I just cast it out and I'm already getting hit. And that seems like a gar hit. I'm gonna let him take it for a little while though. That's insane. I literally just set my rod down and it's already getting hit. But while that line was getting hit, I heard a scream from further down the bank and I ran over to investigate. And this is how I met one of my new best friends. I'll video it for you. Is that big one? Ooh. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Oh yeah, and it's a heavy action rod. It's probably 4 foot, I guess.
Ooh yeah. Jeez.
I'm not sure if is this a gator gar or a longnose.
It looked like an alligator gar when I saw it for a second. Cool. No, that's not. Dude, that's a longnose gar. That sucker's big enough to be a gator gar. Goodness.
Oh, I hope he's tired. Because if he's not tired, I'm just going to
Oh, yeah, the dude's fat too.
Mm-hmm.
Want me to hold that?
Yeah.
Oh. Jeez, that guy's fat. As long as you don't go too crazy, he's good. Jeez. Golly.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes the way you meet a fishing buddy is by getting outfished by a random dude at the boat launch.
That's a monster.
Especially for a longnose. I thought that was a gator gar.
That sucker's fat too.
Golly. Ooh. Now, after talking to this guy for a little while, I found out his name is Sheldon, and he said that I could even keep this gar, so he put it on a stringer, set it out in the water, and we're going to be taking this guy home to cook at the end of the video. Keep him on a stringer.
Oh, redneck stringer.
It works, it works.
Yeah. What's going to suck is if I catch one about twice this size.
Yeah, there was that massive one out here, about 7 foot, so.
Yeah, I've been watching him. That's the one I'm trying to catch.
All right, well that guy was super awesome. He even gave me a little worm to use to try and catch another perch for bait. So huge shout out to Sheldon out here. He's been an awesome help. Let's see if we can catch us a bluegill now. There we go. Ooh, that one's whole bait right there. Come on. Okay, I just walked off for a moment and I do not see my bobber anywhere. So we might have a gar. We definitely have something. Okay, we got something. It doesn't feel big. Ah, I don't know what it was. It was not big. Oh man. Well, whatever that was, it bent the mess out of my hooks. So we're gonna have to replace that and try again. Oh boy, it is hot. We're gonna see if we can catch it again, whatever it is. Now, most of gar fishing is really just waiting for a good bite, so as I was waiting, I decided to practice and hone my fly fishing skills and catch a little bit more bait. Sadly, when you're gar fishing, you just gotta wait on a bite for a good little while, and then even when you get your bite, you gotta wait a good while before you even set the hook. So gar fishing's a lot of sitting, watching, and waiting. I am fairly confident there's something on this line. Maybe not. We got a fish. We got a fish. It's a good one. It's a good one. Dang. Good size longnose gar. He grabbed it and took off. Took my bait. Did he mess up my hook? Nope. Hooks are intact, but my goodness, he grabbed it and started running. We got one on. Now, I'm not gonna do what I did a minute ago and jump the gun on it. I'm gonna wait until that sucker has for sure eaten everything. Might even let it take my drag for a little while. Then we're gonna set the hook on him. He's definitely on there though. It looks like he's taking it for a little trip. But I don't wanna jump the gun and end up with another lost fish. We really wanna secure this fish. We're just gonna set this thing down. And once he starts running with it and this starts going, that's when I'll set the hook. Now, the cool thing about this is called a bait feeder reel. So there's the main drag up top when I'm reeling, but then there's this thing, which if I turn it off, it goes with my main drag. And if I turn it on, it has a much lighter drag. So that'll click and let me know that I have a bite, and then I can reel and set the hook whenever I'm ready. So that's kind of like having your bail open, except it's a little bit more controlled. And that's what I'm gonna do here. You can see he's resting with it in his mouth, kind of swimming around. He's not going as deep underwater now. So I'm pretty confident to say within the next, I don't know, 20 to 30 seconds, we're gonna be ready to set that hook. He's starting to run with it a little bit more. But I want him to run until that line gets tight, and then I'm gonna set the hook. Ooh, he's taking it for a little run. He's taking it for a little run. Come on. Come on. Chow down, buddy. Chow down. As soon as he pulls that line tight, I am setting the hook through the moon at this guy. But before I was able to actually set the hook, it started raining pretty bad, and I noticed that it was coming really fast over here, so I went and took cover so my phone didn't get too wet and let the gar chew for just a little bit longer. Well, I don't know if it was the rain or what, but we got something on this line. I'm gonna let it eat for just a little bit, then I'm gonna smoke him. There we go. There we go. Whatever it is, we got him. We got him. Oh, he's big. Oh, I think he's got us stuck. Oh, it's got us stuck on the bottom. There's something down there. Oh, he's fighting. He fought loose. No! Now, I can't say for sure, but based on the way it was fighting, the way it bit, and the way it was stuck to the bottom, this had to have been an alligator snapping turtle. Which would have been perfect for this video because those things look more like dinosaurs than any other species of turtle on this planet. But we still have a gar messing with our bobber, so I want to make sure that I catch this guy before he takes my bait all the way through these trees. So it's time for us to finally set the hook. Problem here is he's over there by the tree. I don't want him to get wrapped up. So I'm gonna see if I can just drag him this way ever so slowly. I just set the hook on him. There we go. There we go. Whatever it is, I got him. Finally. Finally got him. Oh, is that a grinnell? I think it's a grinnell. Oh, is that a gar? Oh, it's a gar. It's a good sized gar. And it's an alligator gar. Okay. Woo! So close. So freaking close. Dang it. That right there is why he bent that hook out and was able to get undone. Dadgummit. Those giant gar might have escaped me today, but I'm coming back out tomorrow to see if I can get on them again. And it's crazy just how much can change in 24 hours because the water level had risen a good 2 feet and the current was ripping today. But sometimes when the water's higher, the bigger fish come out to play, so I caught a little bit more bait, cast it out on a line just like I did yesterday, and went back at it. I see tons of stuff splashing around over there. I want to cast just shy of that log. I think the water's moving that way slowly, so we're just going to kind of set this right here, close the bail, flick that on so that this will click whenever we get a bite. And I think we're about ready. All right, just had to recast it because it was floating a little bit too fast. I think that current is definitely ripping a lot faster than I initially thought. So fishing off the bottom with a heavy weight might be the better way to go. But we're gonna see. I haven't seen any like huge splashes. I know last time we were out here, we saw one that had to have been at least 7 foot. Oh my gosh. I didn't even see that alligator sitting right here. He's not too big. He's maybe 4.5, 5 feet long. But I did not see him. Oh my gosh. Sneaky little fella. This is only the second alligator I've ever seen out here, even though this place is literally called Alligator Park. But he's just chilling. Definitely snuck up on me. I did not expect to see him there. And never made a splash or anything. I saw this video one time, and a lady said that the way you can tell if alligators are in the water in Louisiana is you reach your hand down and touch the water, and if it's wet, there's alligators in it. And in my experience, that has 100% been true. Hopefully he doesn't try to attack my fly line. Usually, if they have like a topwater bait, these guys will absolutely go after it. They love whopper ploppers, little regular poppers, things like that, buzz baits. But this thing is small enough where I don't think he's gonna come over here and mess with it. Oh. Oh, I had a bite on my fly rod while I was paying attention to this gator. His mouth is up against my braided line right now, which is not great. He seems to be kind of chill, just moving around. Let me cast that off to the side real quick. I might have to real quick reel up my my line because he's about to take that bobber. And if he starts seeing that bobber move, he's going to attack it. And I really don't feel like losing that. This is 80-pound braid, so I know that if he got hooked, he's not snapping the line. And I really don't feel like messing with an angry alligator right now. So we're going to go ahead and stop fly fishing for a second and try to reel that up. The real trick to this is going to be reeling that line without it triggering him to bite it, because it's right there. Okay, good. We got it off his head. All right. You can keep moving now, Mr. Alligator. Beautiful, beautiful animal. I love alligators. Definitely like one of the most iconic animals in Louisiana. The only problem is they can get quite annoying when you're trying to fish. Oh, no. That stupid alligator swam over my line and got me stuck on a tree. Great. All right, so this joker makes me break my line, and now he's taunting me by staring at the bobber that I just had cast out, the little turd. Sadly, I fished till dark, and the only thing I caught were these two itty-bitty minnows. I think one of them's a shiner, and I have no clue what this one is. But I'm bringing them back to the pool pond after this. It's just way too late for us to stay out here chasing fish that aren't biting. Okay, well, this park closes down after dark, so I definitely got to go ahead and pack up here. We're going to go to another spot that stays open all night and see if maybe then we can get on some monster gar. But before we go out on another gar hunting expedition, I gotta release these guys into the pool pond and give you guys a quick little update. As you can see here, I released them at night so the fish wouldn't immediately come up and eat them. And here this guy is swimming around the roots, kind of exploring his new home. But the real reason I came out here with the underwater rig was so you guys could see the Amphiuma live and in action. And if you're going to want to see the rest of this clip, you'll have to wait till next week when the next pool pond video comes out. Now, I did end up going back out tonight, but nothing bit at all, so that would just be a bunch of boring footage. So we're going to skip ahead to the next morning when my buddy Sheldon called me up and told me he could take me back out there and get me on a giant gar. He told me the secret was to go in this open spot and cast as far out as possible. The only issue was I was very limited in my casting ability, so I went over to my car to grab a special tool. Dang it. Alright, so I'm not able to cast out that far, so we're going to take the old foldable kayak and we're going to see if we can get our baits dropped way off at the end. If you guys haven't ever heard of the TugTech foldable kayaks, these things are awesome. I can fit it literally in the back seat of my car. It's like 25 pounds. It is awesome. If you want to get one for yourself, you can get 10% off by using my link in the description and the pinned comment down below. I've been using these kayaks for well over 3 years and they have never failed me. Especially on a day like today where I wasn't planning on using my kayak, so I wouldn't have packed it otherwise, but since it was already in the back seat of my car, it was perfect for bringing our baits to the opposite side of the river where all the giant gar kept rolling. And now that I've set all of the bait out, it's time for me to go back to shore and wait for a good bite or at least something to happen. We were waiting for a good little while before we finally started to see a little bit of action on our lines. The next part of gar fishing is the hardest part, which is determining when the right time is to set the hook. Sometimes you can set the hook within 30 seconds, and sometimes you gotta wait 10 minutes. For this one, we were just gonna wait as long as possible until he kept the bobber down for a long period of time. Because gar are not like other fish, they'll sit there and chew their food for a little while before finally swallowing it, unlike a catfish, which will just grab it and take off running with it. Oh, did he come off? Dang. Oh my gosh, he was chewing on it for like 4 minutes.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that at all.
That is ridiculous.
Completely smooth. Hey, hey, hey.
What happened? Oh, oh! Okay, we got hit on this one. You can see an entire salad has amassed on my line here. Luckily, this thing, oh, if it's set up right, this little bait feeder will keep reeling, or not reeling, it'll keep letting line out. So as you can see, we got our line going out. I think I'm gonna let him chew for a good little while. If anything has taught us a lesson, it's being a little bit more patient. This one's got a treble hook on it though. So I think if we let him eat, we're definitely gonna hook him. I guess we're gonna have to wait. Okay, it's picking up speed. Now I had a good bit of line. I had the line cast way out there, which you guys saw me bring it out. And it slowly drifted over here. So for him to be able to be pull and drag, he's gotta be out probably at least to where that little stump is out there, if I had to guess. He's got to be pretty far out there. But whatever the case, he has not let that bobber come back up, and he is obviously chowing down. If he goes on another big run and starts pulling out some of that drag, I think I'm gonna go ahead and set the hook. 3, 2, 1. I think he just came loose. Oh, no, no he didn't. No he didn't. Oh, that's definitely a gar. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. I think that's just a short-nose gar. Ooh. Decent size, though. It's about time we got on one. There we go. Got him right. Oh, goodness. Right through the bottom lip. I want to try and steer clear of them teeth. There we go. Oh, he unhooked himself. Perfect. Now that right there, those nasty teeth are why I'm so careful. Now these guys are covered in scales that are pretty much like armor, and they're very, very slippery, so it's hard to keep a hold on these guys. But we're gonna go ahead and release this guy. We already have a really big gar to eat, so we're not gonna keep this guy for dinner. All right, so there we go. A little short nose gar. We're just gonna release this one. Oh goodness. I guess he's gonna release himself. There he goes. All right. It looks like we got a little silent observer over here. Thought he was a log at first. It's a little small sucker. I wouldn't say more than 3 feet. Okay, so here's the problem. We've got a gar on the line and an alligator going after his bobber. So I think he's gonna go ahead and set the hook once I step out of the way before a little alligator decides to snatch his line up. Oh my gosh. All right, go ahead, go ahead. Nope. Dang, that's the problem about fishing in Louisiana. You gotta watch out for the gators. Dadgum. And while I was distracted by the alligator, my rod started screaming, so I had to rush over there and grab it to set the hook. That guy just took it for a run. No! Dang it. We got one running over here now. Once the bite picks up, I mean, it's been pretty consistent. The only problem is trying to figure out exactly when to set the hook, but it looks like this one's been running for a good few minutes. He's definitely chewing on it. Oh, there's a gar right next to it. While all that commotion happened, I cannot find my bobber, but my line's not going out, so either he's just chewing on it and pulled it down a little bit, or something. I don't know. I can't see my bobber anywhere. I do see Mr. Alligator hanging out over there, but no bobber. Eventually, I was able to spot my bobber dancing around right below the surface, but I was going to let it eat. We kept missing a whole lot of fish, and so I'm just going to sit there and let him eat until my rod's absolutely screaming at me. This one's running. This one's running. Oh, he's running. He's running. Oh. That was a big ripple. That was a good sized gar. Did he just come off? Dang, he swam it from over here. Well, actually, it's back there, over to here, all around, and then way out there.
Can we just leave it?
I say just, well, do you have your bait? That's the only question I got. So I say reel it in. If you still got bait, then cast it back out. They've definitely been picking up their bite a whole lot within the last 30 minutes, but it's just been tough securing the fish. All right, so here's the situation. We've got this line over here getting hit. My bobber over here is completely under. I don't know where it's at, but it hasn't started pulling yet. And we rebaited our bottom rig with a fresh piece of bait. Now, I actually scaled the fish this time because I've heard that that does something and that helps with catching gar. So maybe that'll help our hookup ratio. Hopefully we can finally catch another one. I'd say wait until he swims. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This one's running with it. He's still on, but he's not pulling as hard. Yours.
He's just punching.
He's just chowing down. Now I got a treble hook on mine, so I think I'll set the hook on this one. Since yours is a single hook, we can wait a little bit on that one. Next run he makes, I'm setting the hook. There he goes. There he goes. My fish escaped, and it seemed like Sheldon's wasn't moving anymore, so we almost lost hope until this happened. If there is something on there, it's probably not too big. But it's... Oh, dude! That's a lot bigger than I thought. That is a lot bigger than I thought.
That's a normal alligator gar.
There we go, finally. The alligator gar we've been after. Now let's not lose him right here. Oh, he's barely hooked. He's barely hooked. Oh, okay. Nice, beautiful specimen of an alligator gar. Actually hooked in the top of the lip. That's pretty rare. Usually you gotta hook them in the bottom lip. Oh, beautiful fish. Okay, we got him.
That's quick.
Kinda gotta hold them if you can by the gill plate, but oh my goodness. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful fish. If you look real close, they have rows of those teeth. He's not opening his mouth for me right now, but he's got quite a few teeth in there, and they will get you. All right, let's see the fish.
Be my look, I get bit.
Oh, hold up for a second.
All right.
Let me see them teeth now that he opened up. There's so many rows of them. These are probably my favorite fish to catch because they just look like absolute dinosaurs. But look at that. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, you do not want to get bit by one of them suckers. He's not quite big enough for me to really want to mess with him, so we'll go ahead and release him back out into the water. Awesome catch, though.
Mm-hmm.
Cool thing about these guys is they're so hardy, you could probably get that guy out of the water for a good 10 minutes and he'd still be fine. But there he goes. That sucker went from over there to way back there and then all the way up right next to there. We thought the current had just brought it in, or it might have just been something small, but my goodness, that guy was good. And believe it or not, we've seen consistently, I wish I could get it on video, there's been at least a 6 or 7 footer that's been rolling. I mean, it looks like an alligator coming out of the water. It's huge, but we cannot for the life of us get it to bite. But it wasn't just the gar that were active right now. Something absolutely smoked Sheldon's bottom rig. There we go. About time. This is the one that was fishing off the bottom, so it could be a catfish, it could be a gar, it could be just about anything.
He's shaking his head terribly.
Is it heavy?
A little bit. Oh yeah. What is that?
Oh, is that is that a catfish? I couldn't see it for but a second. Oh, is that a red? No, that's a big old grinnel. Jeez. I got a scale. We'll go ahead and weigh him. That guy's big.
Yeah, he is.
My guess, 10 and a half.
10 and a half?
What's yours?
I would say 10.
10? All right, let's see who's closer.
Yeah.
Well, crap, I could not find my scale, so I don't know. It's definitely much bigger than the one that I caught on my little micro setup, and the one that I caught on my micro setup was 9 pounds, so this one's gotta be 10 at least. Jeez. That's a big sucker right there.
Yeah, he is.
Pretty fish. Came up for a second, it looked like a catfish, and it almost looked like a redfish coming out of the water. This is a big sucker, goodness. These suckers fight so hard, golly. There's a size comparison between this one and the one I caught the last time. Let's go ahead and release him, I guess. Now, we already have a ton of gar at the house, so we're not gonna be keeping this guy to eat. We're just gonna release him. And I guess he was pretty grateful because he started break dancing. Jeez. It's always when you don't have your net that you see a bucket full of bait fish. And those guys would be perfect size to feed to the fish in the pool pond. My goodness, they are tearing up that pizza crust. Now, I started packing up, and every fisherman knows that when you start packing up, that's when the big fish come out. So luckily, I still had a rod set out. Oh my gosh, whatever this is, it's running. He's not even stopping. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh. Oh, we're packing up to leave. Oh. I think it's a longnose. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, don't come off. Don't come off. Oh, big longnose. Big longnose. Oh, dude. Dude. Come on. On land. On land. On land. On land. Okay. Just walking him up. Yes. Oh. As we're packing up to leave. Oh my gosh. Jeez, come look at these teeth. Dude, look at those teeth. Now, unhooking this guy, hooked him with that treble hook, is gonna be a little bit tough. But oh my gosh, look at that fish. Dude, he straightened out my treble hook. All three of them, my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't get a grip on him. Oh, look at that. Big old sucker. Jeez. Oh, I think yours beats this one a little bit.
A little bit.
But I think it gave him a run for his money at least.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun. Look at the coloration on the tail. Oh. Now, we already have a ton of gar meat at the house, so we're going to get home and cook that up. But man, it's still a beautiful fish. He's super, oh my gosh. Oh, I kept hold of him. All right, super shiny. We're gonna release him real quick. He is not happy. Oh. Jeez, hold on, buddy. Get you acclimated. Jeez, that's a dinosaur right there. Whew. As we were packing up too, that's crazy. Oh man, that takes a fight out of you. Now, I've cooked gar a whole bunch of different ways with a bunch of different recipes, but today I'm gonna be trying something brand new I've never tried before. I'm gonna start off by grinding a whole bunch of gar meat into basically a big paste. All right, we've got our gar all mashed up. We're gonna be mixing this in with a few different seasonings and ingredients to try and thicken it up, and then we're gonna be making some chicken nuggets, or I guess in this case, gar nuggets. All right, we went ahead and mixed in some salt, pepper, and cayenne pepper, and now we're gonna be blending this up really fine. I didn't like how there were all these little chunks like that. I think that's gonna mess with the final texture. So we're gonna blend everything up really smooth. All right, we re-blended all of this. Now you can see all those little white spots that are a little bit more tough. It's blended up a little more uniform. We're gonna shape our nuggets, coat them in a little bit of cornstarch, and then put them in the freezer so that we can fry them up in a little while. All right, so I think I said cornstarch. I didn't mean that. I meant flour. So I saw something that said corn flour, and so I thought cornstarch, but it is not cornstarch. It is just regular flour. So I'm gonna make some little shapes. We're gonna go for like the McDonald's chicken nuggets, if I can make this boot shape real quick. All right, we got our McDonald's nugget. We're gonna coat it with a little bit of flour to help it stick together. And then once we got all of these different shapes done, we're gonna go ahead and throw them in the freezer, let them harden up, and then we'll fry them. Had to give Nubs her little taste here. She approves of the minced up gar. Now that piece of meat was one that fell out before I added the seasoning, so don't worry, she did not eat any chili powder. It was just the minced gar meat. But here we go, we got all of our nuggets made up. We're gonna stick them in the freezer. I think it said for half an hour. Might be a little bit longer than that. I'll have to double check on that. But we're gonna stick this in the freezer for a little while. Once they firm up, we'll mix up the batter, get these suckers fried up, and give them a taste test. Okay, I lost track of time, so this is more like an hour and 20 minutes or so. But we're gonna go ahead, get the batter prepared, and then get the oil heated up. For our wet batter, we've got some pancake mix. We've got a whole bunch of spices: salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, some Tony seasoning, some cayenne pepper, and some chili powder, I believe. We're gonna mix all of this up, add in a little bit of water, and that's gonna be our batter. We've got our batter at a good consistency. We've got our nuggets prepped and ready. Our oil's heating up. All we gotta do is, once the oil's hot, get a little fork. We're gonna stab them in there, dip them on each side, and drop them in the oil. I think our oil is nice and prepped. It's time for us to coat our nuggets and drop them in. This part's pretty easy, but it's just very repetitive. You just dunk these things in the batter and then drop them in the oil. Only 28 to go. Basically, you just want to flip them every now and then, and once they're golden brown, they're perfect and ready to take out of the oil. All right, there we go. Nice and golden brown. Oh my gosh, listen to this. Super nice and crispy. I think I did a little bit too much on the batter because it's very, very thick. But we're gonna go ahead, tear into one of these and see if it tastes like a chicken nugget. Right off the bat, it has a similar looking texture, but when I pulled it apart, it kind of stuck together a little bit more than a normal chicken nugget, but it looks pretty decent. All right, here we go. Taste test. Okay, hold on. We definitely cooked on this one. So the texture is a little bit different from a chicken nugget. Flavor-wise, they're fairly close. In my opinion, this is actually juicier and better tasting than a regular chicken nugget. The crust isn't bad. The meat isn't bad. It's very juicy. It falls apart in the mouth. It's not like gar if you like regular fried it or gar balls. It's actually like super, super tender. I think this is my new favorite way to eat gar. I think I hit the perfect meat to crust ratio. And without exaggerating, I think this is better than regular chicken nuggets. All right, but you can't have any nuggets if you don't have some sauce. So I mixed up some honey sriracha and some of this sweet barbecue sauce. We're gonna see if that goes well with these nuggets. Give her a little dip. Now you're gonna have to excuse my disheveled demeanor. I'm about to have to take a shower. I have been fishing all day. But here we go. Honestly, it might just be better by itself. Those sauces didn't blend quite as well as I thought they would. Actually, it's kind of starting to grow on me. I'm not gonna lie, this is like really growing on me even more. I liked it with the first bite, but this is genuinely, I think, better than a chicken nugget. Oh my gosh. Why have I never thought of this before? The only problem now is I have so many of these because I severely miscalculated. And by the way, this is only about a third of the gar meat we got from that single gar. So we have plenty more to make nuggets in the future. I think I'll eat mine, have my wife eat hers, and then we'll just freeze the rest of them and air fry when we're ready. Now, if I'm being completely honest, I did not expect these to turn out this good. I kind of expected it to be dry, for it to be like nasty, maybe mushy, or maybe too hard, but it's perfect. Like genuinely, this is an awesome meal. Probably not the best for you because it's battered and fried, but man, does it taste good. So if you're a little backwoods redneck doing some gar fishing, this is the recipe to do. If you want to know like the kind of blend of spices I did, I just kind of eyeballed it. So just eyeball it, do it to whatever taste you have. Now my wife wasn't sure if the pancake batter was going to work, but it seems to do a really good job. Flavor-wise, it does not taste too sweet, and then texture-wise, it creates a really nice crust on it. Well, okay, there you have it. It's super good, super delicious. Try this recipe yourself. Tell me if you like it. I think genuinely this could be better, like much better than regular chicken nuggets. I would say McDonald's nuggets are kind of a step ahead of the other nuggets. But these are better than like the Tyson Dino Nuggies. That's how confident I am that you're going to like this. This is awesome. Now, I told you guys I'd give you a little bit of teaser footage here at the end of the video. So here's your pool pond teaser. I'm not going to comment about what we see in these videos, but I will say that Sheldon told me that he can get me on a pickerel. So with any luck, we may just have a pickerel in the pool pond very soon. But even if we don't catch a pickerel, we still caught a ton of crazy critters that you're not going to miss in next episode. Today's Bible verse comes from 2 Timothy 1:7, and it says, "For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." This week, I'm going to be praying for every one of you guys that you have a spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. And as always, guys, Jesus loves you, I love you, and have a great day.